Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Well, we are in Western Washington today, up in the mountains, outside of Olympia, I guess you could say that. Kind of south of there to the southwest of Olympia. And behind me here, there is a little road cut. Now, this road cut has augite crystals. And if you have been watching the channel for any length of time, you know that we have gone to the Cedar Butte augite locality up in Tillamook State Forest a number of times to collect those small black crystals that you can get up there. Well, here just so happens to be another augite locality, and I'm really curious to see how these crystals compare, if they're still olivine. There's a lot of questions that I would like to answer. So much like the other locality, it does seem like they're just here. They're just right here. And with that said, let's look at this exact spot. So right here is volcanic tuff, and eroding out of that and down the hillside here are small black crystals, of which we have a couple already. That's what these little crystals look like. You can see this one's penetrating. Pretty cool. So, yeah, head up there and we'll see what we can come up with. There you go. This is what people are working on up here. I should say that it is the end of September. It's a beautiful day out here. You can see that what this volcanic tuff kind of looks like. That is the host rock for these augite crystals. There's a surprising number of people. Little sow bug. There's a surprising number of people driving around, and they drive down this road and they stare like, what in the world are these people doing playing on the side of the road out here? Oh, you find something good?
No.
No.
Oh.
That's very tiny.
But I think it's got one coming out of it.
Oh, put in the Ziploc.
Yeah. It's going to be a microscope.
It seems like scraping layers of dirt down is kind of nice, because here's one right there. Yeah, I would say that they are smaller, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not as good. I'm seeing some like more well-formed faces on some of these. Can you see it? Can you see see the augite crystal? Some of these can be really tricky to even spot, but they're in here. The volcanic tuff is way more crumbly here than the Cedar Butte location. Like, you can just kind of crumble it with your fingers really easily. Made a little bed for herself. Yeah, here's a piece that some nice twinning in that. You really need to have a little rake, I think. That's a big one right there. Can I just get that out with my fingers? I think I can. No, it's gonna break. Yeah. Is it gonna break in half? That's a good question. Yep.
Well, we had evidence of it while it existed.
Yeah, that just kind of crumbled. It had a big fracture. So the green in these, which is very faint, is not epidote. I don't believe it. I'm going to find out for sure. I think part of the problem here is people have just been like, everything that's green is epidote, when that's not the case. I'm like extremely confident that this being olivine here, but once I get these pieces back and under the microscope, I'll be able to really tell. But I'm just going to kind of work some of this because it seems like there's some nice pieces coming out right here, and there's not too much overburden, which that's nice. I don't want stuff falling on me, but yeah, not bad. It's nice to see that there's at least some bigger pieces. Getting some pretty good ones. Nice size. Seems like just kind of scraping down a little bit, and then what comes down, just kind of sort through it, seems like the best method. Trying to do like an extraction out of the actual tuff is tough. Yeah. Yeah, you do have a nice little pile there. It doesn't take much to get a little bag of goodies. What do you think, Leica? No comment. I have a little Ziploc bag here with a number of the Augite crystals. They're a little damp, so I'm going to dry these out on the dashboard of the car as I drive because we're expecting freezing weather tonight. And I don't want these things to crack, so I'm going to make sure they're really, really dry. We've got some matrix pieces, and I think overall it's pretty good. Now we're going to head back into the shop. We're going to look at these all cleaned up and do some comparisons with the Tillamook State Forest Augite location. Thoughts on it?
It's a good spot. Good to find some stuff pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the road. It's a road cut. So like it's super easy. You just drive up and it's here. The directions are confusing. So this is a location that is in both Gem Trails and Rockhounding, Washington. They have varying directions. I'll put good directions on the website though. Yeah. Okay. Let's head back into the shop and check these guys out. I am back from the Doty Hills Augite locality, and it's interesting to compare the two. And when I say the two, I'm talking about the Cedar Butte locality in, I guess that'd be Northwest Oregon, and this Doty Hills out in Western Washington. They are, on the surface, when you're at the sites collecting, somewhat similar until we apply magnification to them. So as a little bit of a refresher, I think we can look at the ones from Cedar Butte real quick, and you'll be able to see that little guy right there, those little black crystals. And if we put it under the microscope here, you can kind of see they are very, very black. Very black indeed. We do have some nice crystal faces on there, and there's some interesting formations that you can see in these. Overall, the Cedar Butte locality is quite good, and I've even taken some rather nice photos of this material, which is up on the listing over on the website, and I will drop a link to that down below. On to the Doty Hills stuff. As you saw right there, though, very, very black material. And I think this stuff from Doty Hills is interesting because there's some that is obviously quite dark and looks black when you're collecting it, and black kind of here. You can see we do have those olivine crystals. Right there in the middle of your screen, there's a little green one. Right there's a little bit of green. And yeah, you know, that's what that is. There's some interesting formations that we can see here. This is very green, way more green on the surface. And I'm thankful that I got a piece that is broken that really represents this quite well. And we can look at that right here. Okay. you can see that on the exterior of that, you're kind of looking down vertically onto the top of a broken one. There's some rather thick exterior here of, I mean, well, it has to be olivine that has, I guess, been enveloped into the augite crystal growth. So that's kind of a cool one. And we'll look at one more here. You can see we have some interesting formations happening. Pieces have broken off and gotten reincorporated into it. Now, I know this isn't going to be something for everybody. I do think, however, if you are at all interested in having an extensive collection of minerals from the Pacific Northwest, these are two localities that you should visit. Now, me and Sarah, we didn't have to be there very long, and I got 11 acceptable mounts, micro mounts. I do have a little bin back here of stuff that is not so great, and these are kind of pieces that, you know, are highly fractured, right? And when we were out there, they just, you know, look, I tore that apart. So there is a lot of highly fractured stuff. I did pick up a piece of matrix, which I like matrix. Some matrix pieces are good. So I have a piece of matrix, I have my mounts, and overall a good locality to swing into. Definitely go check out the website as well. Check out Patreon if you're able to support this project and you like these kinds of educational videos. And I think with that said, we will leave this one here, everybody. I appreciate you, and I will catch you in the next video.